right, Ben. Happy Monday, August 24th.
24th.
We made it. We're making it through. And it was a long weekend, too.
It was.
Well, for me.
For you.
Yeah, you kind of.
It was a wedding weekend, so there was more drinking going on than I probably would like to have on the weekend.
How many weddings have you gone to this year? If you take a guess.
Probably like 4 or 5.
I feel like you've been in it to a lot of them.
Yeah.
I mean, 5 weddings, that's like, let's be real, that's kind of like half the summer.
It is. Yeah, when you think about it, if the whole summer is only like 10 weekends.
Okay, but were they
weekends.
Your friends' weddings or were they your ladies' friends' weddings? That's even a more breakdown of a question.
We went to college together, so like I feel like most of them we're all friends with. So it's been mostly just both of us. And then I was in one.
So you were in one of them?
I was in one. So.
Did you have to do like the full suit, like the outside?
Oh yeah. 80 degrees, hot, just sweaty.
It's not a summer wedding unless you just have to stand outside in a monkey suit in 80 degrees.
Yeah.
That's kind of top notch.
And you kind of had quite the...
Oh, you're golden. You're golden.
You had quite the weekend too. You were partying with Riley Green.
I was partying
Personally with Riley Green.
Personally with Riley Green. He was a big Joe Blacks guy. So I had to hit it up. It was great. We literally got some tickets last second. I mean, it was like, the concert was on Saturday, and it was probably Wednesday. One of my friends hit me up, and they're like, "Hey, do you want these tickets?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, not going to turn that down." And they are even more bougie than us. They have a suite at the Ralph.
Nice.
Which had not been up there in a long time. So I got a chance to actually like walk around. It's like some top-notch stuff up there, man.
Yeah.
I hate to say it. The Ralph puts the Dome and the Shields Arena kind of puts them to shame.
Yeah.
I mean, it really was, I don't know. I mean, they put a lot of thought and effort into that deal. It was really cool having its own suite level. Because all of the arenas here in Fargo, you can just get into the suites like right off the concourse.
Sure.
Which, whatever, not that big of a deal. But, Joe Schmo could come along and just open up doors. But to get up there, it's like you take a little escalator up and then, you got to have like your deal. And then they give you a wristband. And so that was super fun. And then all of the suites there had their own private bathroom in them.
Nice.
Which I didn't even think about that being a thing. But like super convenient there too. You don't have to go back out and go walk around or whatever. So, I mean, as far as the acoustics of the show, I thought it was pretty good. I mean, you're a little ways up there, but it was nice. I mean, they block off the one edge of the concert venue. So it's like, there's really not a bad seat in the house. I mean, I think it was more just as long as you could see the guy and wandering around. And a concert's just kind of a concert to me.
Yeah.
Like, I think as long as you're there, it's more about the atmosphere than I think necessarily anything else.
Yeah, the days of wanting to be like right in the front row are kind of over for you.
A little bit, because you have to stand the whole time.
Yeah.
And I've never felt old like saying that, but it's like, to have to stand there because the show started at 7. There was like 3 openers. So, I mean, I'm talking you were there 7, 8, 9, 10. I mean, you're like 4 or 5 hours of standing, and that's too much for me.
That's too much.
I mean, especially if you like want to have a drink. It's like, dude, nothing worse than being up there. You have a beer. Well, of course, then you got to go pee. So then you got to walk 2 miles out of the concourse.
Yeah.
You got to go to the bathroom, and then you got to try and get a drink and make your way back down. I was like,
it's not worth it.
That's a young man's thing.
That's a young man's game. The last time I saw Riley Green was at WeFest like 2 or 3 years ago, if you remember that year. I think you were there that year.
Probably.
Yeah, you were probably just too blacked out
to
remember it. Yeah.
I was out of it.
But we got pit tickets for that concert, and it was the same deal, but luckily I was like 21 at the time, so whatever, that was fun. But same thing, you can't use a bathroom because you're standing in a pit full of people just neck and neck. You can't go use the bathroom or get a drink because you can't get back to your same spot because it's all just packed people like sardines that you can't move, you can't breathe, you can't do anything. So it's just not as fun. I like to sit back, relax, like talk to people, have a conversation. The music's loud enough to hear, but it's not like the only thing you hear.
The biggest complaint I had, and it was so funny because I immediately thought of you. When there's a concert, they turn all the lights off in the suite. And you don't have an option to even like dim them. So it was like pitch black in there.
Yeah.
So I'm like walking around. There was one guy in there. There's 2 steps to get down from like the little standing area to where the seats are. Buddy just ate it. Had a full drink in his hand.
No.
Just ate it into the glass. And I was like, oh,
that sucks. Poor guy.
But the darkness in there was a little bit tough. But other than that, great experience. Hey, and talking about hanging with Riley Green, that's hilarious you brought that up. So we're standing in there, and somebody in there is like, do you think Riley Green is going to Joe Black's after this? And I remember sitting there looking at him, and I was like, you really think Riley Green, after 3 weeks on tour, he wants to go hang out at Joe Black's in downtown Grand Forks? So I pull up my flight tracker app just to be funny here. So the concert ends at literally 11 p.m. There's a flight at 11:20 p.m. that's leaving from Grand Forks, going straight to Birmingham, Alabama. And I was like, I got a feeling I know who's on that plane. So it was less than 20 minutes after he walked off that stage. Dude was in a blacked out Escalade going straight to the Grand Forks airport, straight on a PJ, straight to the hell out of North Dakota.
And it was 20 minutes he was in the air. Not even like 20 minutes he arrived on site. He must have literally gotten there at 11:10 and in the air by 11:20.
The jet had to have been running on the tarmac, door open. Like he just got on there with his crew. They shut that door and it just took off into the night.
I mean, it is their job. Like, I think people forget, like, it's fun for us, but it is their day job. Like, the guy just wants to go home.
Yeah.
You know?
I thought that was hilarious, though, because, they were like, do you think he's hanging out? I was like, no. Riley Green is not hanging out in North Dakota after this show.
Do you remember WeFest in the years past when certain artists would, like, go back and party at the campgrounds? Did you ever run into that when you were at WeFest?
I don't think so.
When we stayed at Viking, there were a couple of years where some of the artists would like show up at some of the parties in Viking campground, and they would just be there partying with everyone. And people were like, did you hear, like, Thomas Rhett is in the campground, he's partying, and you'd like go look for him.
That's nuts. Well, the only one I ever knew of was, because I only knew because of you. You got to hang out with Hardy last year before the show.
Yeah, that was
You were partying with the guy.
That's
crazy. Like the only artist I've ever heard that was actually like doing something
partying.
Yeah, before or after.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that was pretty cool though.
That is cool. Some dudes are just like wired like that. They'll just party all year round. I think some guys, maybe Riley Green is, maybe isn't, but he was just ready to like get me out of here.
I love how, because I mean, that was like right when me and you started doing the podcast. So like we knew each other, but like we weren't like we haven't known each other for that long. And so I'm just standing there or whatever, and I get a snap, and it's just you and Hardy out at the sound bar. And I'm like, this freaking guy, dude. I'm like, who is this guy?
I thought you were doing the same with Riley Green this weekend. I thought you were just like texting him, asking what he's doing.
Yeah, we were just straight up chilling at Joe Black's. So we finally made it through the show, made it back home or whatever. And then I totally forgot, fantasy football drafts are like in full swing right now. So of course I'm dying on Sunday. And I'm laying there on my phone, trying to select who I'm going to pick here. How many leagues are you in this year?
I think three.
Three.
I tried to get down
leagues,
to one.
Dynasty leagues, like break them down a little bit.
A dynasty, and then just like your standard league. That's new every year.
Same people though. Like, is it the same three that you've been in for a while?
Couple of different groups. There's some people that are in all three of them, but they're all kind of with different friend groups. So
sure.
Yeah.
Did you win any last year?
No.
Even close?
No. I got my ass kicked last year.
Tough.
And I don't like being in 3 or 4 of them. It's too much. I used to pay attention to it, but now I'm not very good about setting my lineups and like paying attention to it. So I'd like to get down to like 1 or 2.
The great thing now is that I don't know what platforms you use. I only use ESPN.
Okay.
So you can do like the auto your
draft,
lineup.
yeah.
So it's not like you have to go and study. I mean, you can just go on every week and hit. Because here's the thing, and I'm so glad they have this auto draft. Because every year I like to think I'm like a little bit smarter than everybody else. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh yeah, like, there was one year I think I drafted a guy, and then I think he had already like retired, or he was like in the middle of retiring, and I thought he was like still playing, and I drafted him because I remembered him being like a good player, like years ago. Yep. And then my friends were like, you're an idiot. They're like, what are you doing?
He's bad.
He's so bad. And I was like, dude, that's like a huge name.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, 5 years ago.
Exactly.
So now, all of the statistics and the projections, they kind of line it up for you. They kind of tee it up. So really, if you just almost do like an auto draft, it's kind of luck of the draw.
Yeah.
So you're kind of just out there getting whoever. So I drafted my first one last night, and I won the league last year. So I got to pick the draft order for everybody this year. That's kind of like one of our rules or whatever. So I came right out of the gate, took Jahmyr Gibbs. Hopefully he's pretty good. I am kind of a Lions fan anyway.
Sure.
So I'm definitely going to be hot to trot this year to go back to back.
Go back to back. Do you have any friends that get really, really, I'm sure you do, that get really, really into it, and they think that they're the smartest? Like, they research, they just read every article, they listen to the YouTube videos, and it is just like their life on who they should pick.
I have some aggressively like hardcore friends at it.
Degenerates is what
like
we
to the
call 'em.
point that like I'm getting my feelings hurt in the chat because sometimes they're really just letting a guy have it.
Sure.
And you got to act like it doesn't hurt you, but sometimes they'll cut you with something deep. And I'm like, damn, dude, like this is just fantasy.
They get personal.
This is just fantasy football, bro. Like you don't got to hit my personal strings on this thing.
Hey, it is what it is. It's good competition.
It keeps the group chat lively. That's for sure here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I'll be in 3 of them this year as well.
Okay.
I've been pretty impressed with my group. We've kind of held strong. Like I think
Good.
the one that I drafted in last night, this is probably year like 7 or 8.
Wow.
So I mean, this has been a hot second. We've been committed to this thing.
Wow.
So then I've got a family one, and then the one that I did last night is all friends from Grand Forks when we all lived together. And then I'm in one dynasty, which is kind of a newer. And I don't know, the dynasty one, I still don't fully understand how that works. Like you bring players from
Your team just carries. So you have like one initial draft, and then year after year, like your players are still on your team, and then you just draft rookies. So it's literally like running a regular team.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of struggle with that one because then that one you have to pay like a little bit more attention to.
Yeah.
Especially on the initial draft because it's like, well, you don't want to be picking guys that are 4 years
Exactly.
from retirement, or on the downfall. Like you got to try and pick these 2 guys 2 or 3 years in and then just hope that they last for the next 5 years,
Yeah.
because you get your quarterback and then he, blows his ACL. Well, you're screwed, you're like,
Exactly.
oh, man. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah, and then on all the drafts, like I did a draft this past weekend for a dynasty league. I didn't know any of like the rookies. I don't pay attention to the rookies, and you're just like trying to blindly pick who's going to be the next big athlete, but it's impossible.
And what's hilarious with rookies, and maybe you saw this too. Did you see that guy came to the NFL and now he's going back to college?
Going back to college, I guess it's the first time in like history. There's going to be more of them, I guess, that are going to be able to do that. There's some rule that got enacted of like they did a lawsuit, so now the NFL has to let them go back to college football. And sometimes college football athletes get paid more than NFL like rookie minimums. So there's a bunch of guys that are going to go back to college, but they were just playing on an NFL roster.
So all that this means now is that college is essentially just a 2-way deal. It's a semi-professional football team.
It literally is.
That's all it is. Like it can't even be if you're letting people go back and forth, there's no way you can be like, this is definitively college. That's nuts. I mean, it's been that way for a while, but letting guys go back and forth, that's really pushing it here. College is so funny, and you got to be real careful because you can kind of rile some feathers up for this or whatever. But it's like, especially for college athletes, like you are literally not there to get an education. Like you are there to play whatever sport that is. I mean, especially if you're, Alabama, Texas, you're like an actual.
You're usually there for a year.
Yeah, you're there for a year. You're there to play. And that cracks me up. And I'm like, why are we even deluding ourselves telling it that you're going for college? Like you're just going to be a semi-pro athlete, which I don't care. That's great. Like power to you. But you're making these guys go to class like they actually care. Like
biology. Like, let's just all get over the idea that we're actually there for college, and let's just not even make let's just say they're studying athletics.
Yeah.
Because what's the freaking point? Like, oh, I'm, Joe Burrow studying quantum mechanics. Like, no, you're not. You're not going to class.
Yeah, you're not.
Like, I went to college. I didn't see any of the athletes ever in class. Like, they weren't there.
You're literally there for football. That's crazy. Well, I was laughing though, and not that I follow college football all that close, but it was funny that the guy went from Ole Miss to NFL. Now he's back to LSU, which just had the big head coach swap or whatever.
Yes,
so I did think that was kind of funny.
I saw one of the guys on ESPN said like the minimum contract that a lot of these guys are getting paid is like $200,000 in the NFL. That's like the minimum you can make. And if you're like a 3rd or 4th round pick, that's typically what you're making. But in college, that tight end that you're talking about, he's going to make like $1.5 million or $2 million because he's going to be a stud on LSU or Ole Miss, wherever he plays. But then if on the, Cleveland Browns or whatever, he's going to make $200,000. Like,
yeah. Why would you not go back?
Why would you not go back?
It makes sense for those guys.
How are college athletes like making this much? That's crazy.
The game has changed so rapidly over the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Like it is just night and day. I mean, I don't know, and not to be like this conspiracy dude, like since COVID, things are just different.
Yeah.
Like money is just looked at differently. The way things operate are just differently. Like there was so much money brought into circulation. I mean, what was the number? Like 70% of all of the money in circulation was printed in the last like 5 years. That's crazy. I mean, that's nuts. Like we used to get done thinking, getting paid this or making that, like you used to be able to live. It's like, dude, it just costs a lot.
A lot.
I mean, it rapidly changed. So
Yeah.
no, it's funny. I'm excited for NFL this year. I still got our bet written down for Eagles and Vikings. Do they play each other this year? Do you know?
I don't know.
I haven't even looked at the Eagles.
I would think they do.
I haven't even looked at the Eagles schedule. Which would really be pushing it here. But if for some reason they do play in Minneapolis, that would actually be a fun game.
That would be a great game to go to.
If there was a time that you did want to like chuck a beer can at my head, you could probably get away with it at the game.
Probably could.
If I had the Eagles,
I would have a
jersey
lot
on,
of backup.
You would have a lot of backup.
Yeah.
You just be watching me just get beat to shit in there.
I'd probably just be there with a camera recording. I'd be like, "Ooh, podcaster goes down."
It would make for phenomenal footage.
Great content. Oh, that'll be good, man.
The Eagles and the Vikings rivalry is always just killer to me.
Yes.
So I'm like, all right, let's bring it back, boys. Let's bring it back. So no, other than that, the only other halfway local thing that I did this weekend before the whole massive deal, I went to a trading card show. You ever been to a trading card show?
No, I'm not a nerd.
I used to think that trading cards, this had me cracking up because I was envisioning a bunch of guys like with Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
So it was an actual sports card show.
Okay.
So that was kind of fun. My brother collects sports cards. It was at the Shields Arena.
This weekend?
Yeah.
Oh.
In the, not in the main area, but in like the hallways. They had a bunch of tables and they had a bunch of stuff set up. So it was kind of funny.
Cool.
It was like wheeler and dealers for card shows. Like kids were going around and they were like, I'll give you $20 for this Joe Burrow Topps card. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know
whatever,
the lingo or whatever. But yeah, it was kind of fun because I like to always, the older generations as we get older, you always like to give, every generation gets worse and worse, right?
Yeah.
Oh, when we were kids, we never did this. So it was kind of fun to see a bunch of kids running around, no phones, no iPads, just trading off cards. I was like, okay, this is like
that's cool,
semi-productive fun.
Yeah.
So
have you seen what some of those cards can like go for? I think there's a show on Netflix. I forget the name, but they do like, they're a business that sells high-end sports cards. And there's some like 10 million, 20 million, 30 million, like for a card.
Isn't that nuts? Hard to fathom.
I'm sure some of at that Fargo Arena were probably, thousands, I would imagine.
The only one that I saw recently, and I think it was just because it made the news, but the Cooper Flag like debut card. Did you hear about that?
I think so.
So the Dallas Mavericks like official team like had released a post or whatever, and they're like, hey, here's our proposal for whoever pulls the Cooper Flag card. I mean, and it was like season tickets, $250,000 cash, like a private tour with Mark Cuban. I'm just making this up now.
Yeah.
But it was some ridiculous offer like for this card. I mean, and I'm like, dude, it's a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Like on what planet is this
just
thing
make
worth
another one.
$500,000? But for whatever reason, I guess it's the collector item, or I don't know. I don't totally get it. But
man,
yeah, I was like, damn, this guy's literally holding a piece of paper that's worth my whole net worth.
Literally.
He's just holding it here just
fun. Holding it. Yeah. It's literally a currency. I mean, I think a lot of people have thousands and thousands of dollars invested in just cards.
I guess so. So no, it was good. Overall, a productive weekend. And yeah, as we wind up August, we're going to keep our nose to the grindstone. Oh, somebody did claim the giveaway for the...
Yeah, who was it?
I totally forgot to tell you that. Yeah, dude, so we posted that video last week, and or maybe it's been 2 weeks ago.
It's like 2 weeks ago
2 weeks ago, and like nobody reached out, and I was like, bro, no way. Like somebody's got to.
Yeah.
And finally, I get a Facebook DM, and the guy goes, hey, man, did I win? Like I about the giveaway or whatever. And I fired back right away. I was like, yes. I was like, you did win.
You're
like,
actually the only one that applied.
Only person. I'm like, I'm so thankful you reached out. I was like, dude, so let me know what weekend you want. And I was like, the 2 tickets are yours. So
we didn't know the guy, or
no,
we didn't know it. Just
no.
a random. Hey, well, that's cool.
I had no idea.
If we would have posted a reel, we would have been snatched up in a minute, but the long form stuff just doesn't get.
But you got to give people a little incentive to listen to the long form. You know, might be doing some little giveaways like that here and there. So anyways, yeah, I forgot to tell you that. So I'll block that off on the calendar.
That's awesome.
But so yeah, maybe midway season we'll have to we'll have to
we'll do
throw
another
another
one.
pair out or something
For
like
sure.
that. So
Absolutely.
no, all is well. Well, let's get to it. Have
Yes,
a great
sir.
week, Ben.